All right, so what we're gonna do, this video is by Chris Herrera. If you don't know who Chris Herrera is, he's been in the industry for, I don't even, like, a long time. Since I was, the first time I watched one of his videos, I was in high school. So he's been doing this shit for longer than I could, recollect, honestly. He's been on YouTube before I was ever even into bodybuilding or fitness. So he's kind of like the original OG tattooed up dude doing workouts and stuff at home. Sold an ab program, a calisthenics program, basically made his money selling a program to get you an aesthetic physique. Not a jacked physique or super ripped, but just, aesthetic. And you can tell in his videos because they're all super aesthetic. So anyways, this is Chris Herrera's, I think I'm saying that correctly, Chris Herrera's video. I'm going to pop this over here. Give me a sec, guys. A little bit of technical shifting here. All right, let me know if the volume is good when I start it, but we're going to listen to Chris Herrera and what he has to say about doing 6 things for abs every day.
What's up, Denix athletes? It's 2025 and it's time to finally achieve the six-pack you've always wanted. If you didn't get there last year,
I actually don't want a 6-pack. I want a beer belly, like a massive, massive keg sitting on my lap at all times. So he's wrong. That was an assumption. Incorrect. Invalid.
chances are you made some common mistakes like neglecting proper nutrition or just focusing on the wrong exercise. Effective core training needs to include flexion, extension, and rotation of your
He's not wrong. I mean, that's kind of right. He's not wrong. Chris is full of it. Yeah, I think he is too. Not the most trustworthy creator, loads of BS and clickbait, kind of misleading content. He does have a lot of clickbait. Like, he's a very good marketing guy. He has a huge funnel, and you and I might think of it as a little bit differently, but the most people that watch his channel are just Gen Pop folks, and they legitimately have no idea of what's right or wrong. And so they're just clicking on his shit, going through his funnel, buying his little ab program, thinking that, you remember when he started, right? Like, you think that 15-minute ab program is going to blow your abs out of the water and you're going to look like fucking the best guy in the world. It doesn't really happen that way, and you learn soon enough that, geez, every $15 program that I buy isn't going to make my abs happen. It's just what it is. Of course I play video games, Dimitri. I've been a couple beers too many during the holidays. Well, this is the video that's going to teach you how to get abs.
torso. And if your ab routine is still the same old once or twice a week at the end of your workout for just a couple minutes, you've already figured out that's not going to work. However, if you do the right ab routine with flexion, extension, and rotation for just a couple minutes every day, or at least most days, you're definitely going to see some results. Not just looking strong.
All right, I don't mean to be rude. I know this guy makes good money. Like, I know it. His YouTube content plus like I just talked about, his marketing funnel, like, he's got to make some pretty good money. Why does his tattoos, why are they incomplete? Like, there's scribbles on his chest and they're all incomplete. Just like spend the extra $2,000 or whatever to finish that up. It looks just kind of goofy.
Actually being strong, the strength that you're going to acquire in your abdominals from a legitimate routine is going to transfer over into all your other lifts, as your core strength plays a vital role in every single lift, whether you're using your arms, your legs, or any other part of your body. So basically, if you're strengthening your abs,
he definitely did get his body from calisthenics. I mean, he might have. I mean, it's not like his physique really isn't that crazy. It's really not that bad. He's still got a full head of hair. He looks really young. He doesn't have like all that oxidative stress. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't actually doubt he was natural, to be honest. He's not like crazy lean either.
not only are you going to get shredded, but you're going to build strength and muscle throughout your entire body as well. And another important factor to consider when you see people that are just so shredded and you're thinking, wow, it's so hard to just even get to that point, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, it's easier to get shredded. That's because muscle is anabolic, and that's why nutrition plays such a big role. You want to make sure that you're getting enough protein each day to fuel your muscle growth. And as you put on more muscle, you're going to burn more calories just by existing, and that's going to make it easier to get shredded and stay shredded. So to do this, I created this 8-minute no equipment workout that targets all the areas of—
You can tell everything he's doing is calculated. Like his movements, his gestures, he's like jumping up and down, shaking, his tits are shaking. Like he's doing everything he can to animate his body. And I know this shit works so well. It's what Greg Doucette did. It's like Greg Doucette has told everyone straight up, like he didn't get views until he started moving his hands around and jumping up and down and making a funny voice. He doesn't look like he takes anything at all, to be honest. Yeah, he does not take anything. Like, dude probably just has a decent set of genetics and has been training for some time and has gotten to be this place. He gets his abs from a decent diet, not a super, not a super awesome fucking 5-minute workout.
It's quick enough that you can do daily and perfect for making part of your morning routine, helping you increase the frequency of your ab training for faster results. And of course, the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. And if you do plan on going for more rounds, well, then you can decrease the amount of times that you do it during the week. For example, if you plan on doing this routine for 3 to 4 rounds, you only need to do this like twice a week. And to maximize your progress, remember that diet is key. If you're walking around with excess body fat, you need to be on a caloric deficit. If you need help on how to eat healthy to get shredded and build
here comes the plug for his app.
muscle, just check out my many nutrition videos down below. With that
Damn it, it was free. Son of a bitch. He's actually got morals, guys.
said, we're ready to get this workout started. All you're gonna need is 8 minutes of your time, some space on the ground, and to properly follow along, download the Hair Pro app and
I fucking called it. There it is. Shit, I swore again. I can't do that. I knew it was coming. Saw it coming from a mile away.
App Store or Google Play Store for free. Not only
Any good influencer drops that shit within the first 2 minutes of their video.
will you get full access to this workout routine, but access to all my workouts that are just like this, allowing you to get shredded and build muscle wherever you're at, even right from home. And using exercises in your routines that are going to improve your skills as well. Not just looking strong, actually being strong. So if you're ready to get started, you got the Hair Pro app open. We're going to get right into it. So let's get down to the ground.
That was the like weakest flex I've ever seen. He was like not even trying at all. Just like, fuck, another video after a decade of doing this. Fuck, you know?
Completely uncut because I want to do it with you. So just follow along. We're going to go for 8 exercises, 45 seconds each with a 15-second break in between. And my beginners following along, I'm going to give you a separate timer on the screen that's going to be about 30 seconds for each exercise. So the first exercise we're going to get into is going to be seated in and out. So you take a seat like this, hands behind you, fingers pointed forward, knees in and out, just like this, 45 seconds. Now, if you're just getting started, you can just give it small little pumps, but the stronger you're gonna get, eventually you'll be able to fully like that, just like this. Breathe into your nose. Regulating your breathing is so important.
The thing with abs, the thing with any muscle, it's no different. You need resistance. You need resistance to train a muscle. And this might work for the average Joe who doesn't have enough strength to like maybe lift something with his abdomen, which actually most people would just have that naturally just by nature of holding themselves up. But you all know, like to build a muscle, we need mechanical tension. Mechanical tension basically means that you're putting load onto a joint. So let's say my bicep, if I'm holding a weight at the end of my hand and I'm extending my arm, now that joint has load on it. If I try to pull it up, it's like a little anchor in my arm that has a string attached, pulling my forearm up closer to my humerus. That's tension. You know, that weight is being leveraged up. In this, you're using your legs as the tension or the resistance, but it's not great enough to ever reach mechanical failure or even come close to a resistance that's going to get you to reach failure in a respectable rep range. And so I always see people doing these like ab things, and it's kind of silly because in a true scientific sense, you would want to be failing within somewhere between a 5 to 30 rep range, but people could do this for 100 reps easily. They might think they're failing, but they could realistically do this for a very, very long time, especially with the breaks they take and the, half reps and whatever. They do this in Muay Thai a lot. And I always kind of thought it was interesting because it's not necessarily a building exercise or like a form of any way to build your abs. It's more of just a conditioning exercise. Like, can you tolerate pain for X amount of minutes whilst doing this, abdominal workout, basically. Ab workouts are hard if you have a long torso. That's so true. I'm 6'2". It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Really important you breathe through your nose, he said. Yeah, it's super important you breathe through your nose during this. You will lose all gains if you don't breathe through your nose doing abs.
Squeeze your core, This first exercise, we're really emphasizing the lower abdominals as well as our upper.
All right, beginners, take a fucking rest. All right, you know who you are. I'm looking at you. You all know who you are. Take that fucking rest, okay? Beginners can rest now. Losers. I'm just kidding. Everyone's here a winner.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go ahead and stretch that out. Breathe in and out. Next exercise, again, we're going to double down, emphasizing on our lower abdominal.
By the way, anyone who's here and not in our Discord group, we're doing a massive giveaway at the Discord. It involves coaching one-on-one with the coach, 2 $75 gift cards to Modern Aminos. Don't require any kind of payment. You can just join the Discord and you'll get access to those things. Holla at your boy. Just click the link in one of my videos if you want to join, because it's there. It's live right now. So if you want some free shit, it's a good idea.
With laying leg flutters. So you put your hands underneath you, feet straight out, 1 up and 1 down. Now, if it's your first time training like this or doing this, what makes this most difficult is the intensity. So if you do feel...
Okay, he's so right. He's so right. What makes this the most is important. I don't know what he fucking said. Whatever he said. He talked about intensity, and I heard that, and I was like, my brain just turned on. Intensity. He's absolutely right. You need to create intensity, not endurance. Like, you're just basically doing an endurance-based exercise. If you want to build a muscle so that you actually have a well-defined abdominal wall, which I actually don't think many people should do, because you don't want blockier abs. Like, no one wants a thicker waist. You want a small waist, a broad set of shoulders. So you probably, like, for example, here's a really important keynote for you guys. Bodybuilders in Korea, they do Botox in their obliques, like in the sides of their abs, to shrink their waist. They're literally trying to atrophy their abdominal muscles. A lot of people have this delusion that you need to train abs to make them look more defined. No, everyone has abdominal muscles. They're always there. They're always present. Like, even in the skinniest person, you can still see their bicep, you can still see their tricep, you can see their chest. It's not like it's gone. It doesn't exist. If you don't train it, it's there. The thing is that most people have too much fat on their abdominal wall, and therefore they can't see it. The reality is, you should probably work on atrophying your waist if you're in a competitive physique sport or want to look like aesthetic, right? So, just got your order from Modern Aminos today. What's up, bro? What's up? Imagine what Mr. Watson would say to that 10-second rest period. The amount of swear words we'd hear. Yeah, you must spend $1,000 with the Modern Aminos code to get a special access to the Discord group. Motherfucking facts, y'all. I think I'd get $10 from that. I'd probably get $10 worth of fucking commission.
Fatigued already?
That's a good point. I like to build my abs so I can have them visible at a higher body fat percentage. That's a realistic point. I just think that most people, when they think of their best physique, it's a slim waist, like this Dorito factor, right? Like having a broad set of shoulders that taper into a nice waist. Even on a guy, that always looks good. Even on a bodybuilder, right? Like, that's kind of what you want.
Slow down.
No one wants to be looking like Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to look like that kind of physique.
Or do little movements. The more you do it, the stronger you get. Eventually, it's going to become a lot more manageable, a lot more comfortable as well.
So he pointed out another flaw there. He said it's going to become a lot more manageable and a lot more comfortable. Error. If it's a lot more manageable and a lot more comfortable, you should probably find something harder to do, like using weights, like going to use a resistance machine to train abs. Because if it's at that point, you've adapted to the stimulus, you really can't produce more stimulus doing this kind of thing. Is there a filter that would put on ruby slippers? I don't think so.
Keep your head up. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, again, we want to stretch that out every set. Next up, we're going to start working the rotation of our abdominals with star crunches, an exercise I've been using over a decade. So you make the shape of a star like this, We're gonna come up, touch the outside of our ankle, and send that down.
This is actually good exercise. So like when you think about your abs, you want to train from your sternum to your basically your pelvis, right? And the flexion of that, that articulation, not really flexion, I guess it's spinal flexion, is how you train your abs. Like there's multiple different ab muscles. Here's another thing. It's not like each individual ab pack is its own muscle. Like you have your abdominis, and then you have your TVA or transverse abdominis. You have all these different muscles, but the majority of them are working to get your sternum closer to your pelvis bone. And so like abs need to actually get those 2 points closer together in space. And a lot of people will do movements like they're just doing the flutter kicks, which is like a fourth of the actual articulation in which your abs are responsible for. And it's kind of it's like a boner killer. You could do one workout that has full range of motion and train all the muscle versus doing, 8 different workouts, but that wouldn't look cool on camera.
Now, switch. You go on the other side.
Imagine someone just walks in on him. Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And what is that couch? I'm sorry to point this out. It's been bothering me. I just can't stop anymore. It looks like an inflatable couch. Like he just blew it up and put it in the corner. Like, I don't know.
Take your time and pace yourself. Especially if this is your first time. Make sure you come up, push that ankle. Now, if you're a beginner, make sure you're resting, breathing, preparing for the next exercise. Everyone else?
Yeah, I do use fluvoxamine. Been using combo of Adderall and fluvoxamine. Came off the Addy abruptly and been so tired lately, but I wonder if it's yeah, it definitely is. Usually when I have a large workload to do, I'll take it, or I won't take it because it does dampen my consciousness, like my ability to stay very tunnel visioned, if that makes sense. But on days where I don't have heavy loads of work, I'm just gonna like not do that.
Stay strong.
That couch is $6,000. It looks nowhere near as comfy as my couch. That was $800. That's all I'm gonna say to that. Like, how do you even sit on that thing comfortably? It has no back support whatsoever. Like, how do you take a nap on that? Where do you put your head? Yuck.
Last couple seconds. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Again, you want to breathe.
I guess that couch would be nice on a sunny day out of the lake. Yeah. Basically, all it would be good for.
Relax our abdominals. Next, we're going to be going into Russian twists. We're going to get into the seated position again. Again, emphasizing on the rotation. So you can touch one side, keep turning, or you can bring in your knees. If you're feeling a bit fatigued.
This is actually like an army workout. Like, these are all movements we do in the army.
Just like this, but you want to touch each side.
I should say did. Everyone's going to get mad. Did in the army. I'm not in the army anymore, okay?
And really rotate. After this exercise, we're going to be officially.
What's your opinion on stomach vacuums? Yes, that is like critical. I talk about, Samantha knows, I talk about that with every one of my clients. If you want, well, specific clients who have trouble controlling their abdomen, especially on stage, bodybuilding, your transverse abdominis is what's responsible for like pulling in, doing that sort of like Valsalva maneuver, and then forcefully exhaling. 2 things that you do on stage a lot, especially when you're trying to pull vacuums, which every competitor should at least pull like a semi-vacuum, like a middle, I don't know, like a half-assed vacuum at least on stage. You train that by doing vacuums. So you basically forcefully exhale and then do the Valsalva maneuver vacuum, and you train that transverse abdominis. What a lot of people do is they chronically, and there's research on this that shows like when people walk around and they don't really control their abdomen, also eating in abundance, like eating too much food, their transverse abdominis atrophies, and as well the sort of fascia around their stomach and in their like abdomen, their lower abdomen extends or expands, and then you basically lose control of it. You see this in a lot of bodybuilders. And so the only way to train that is to get your vacuums, like really fixate on doing vacuums regularly, like really regularly, and getting to a point where you can even pull vacuums on a full stomach. That's when you know you've made it. That's how you're going to control that abdomen, especially when you get bigger in size. Like these guys, bodybuilders, are training I've coached people from 180 pounds up to 240 pounds. And that transition, it's so hard to keep somebody's like aesthetic in track and keep their waist small. But that is how you do it with vacuums.
Halfway there.
Just joined What the Fuck Is This Breakdancing 101, basically. That's basically about all we're doing here. Learning how to breakdance.
Really want to touch and work that rotation. We emphasize on the bottom of our abs, now emphasizing on the rotation. Next, we're going to emphasize on the upper. It's going to be a complete and effective ab workout. Last 10 seconds.
This is also like a misnomer, like saying that you have upper, lower, middle abs. It's all one muscle. There is such thing as regional hypertrophy, which means like areas of muscle fiber can hypertrophy and get bigger in response to like certain and specific training or resistant profiles. But ultimately, the whole muscle is contracting whenever you do anything. And like I was saying, it's like better to do one full range of motion exercise that has complete resistance along the whole path of the whole profile of movement versus like 8 movements that are all trying to piece together one full range of motion.
5, 4, 3.
These bodyweight resistance exercises can be challenging and fun to do, but I feel like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You're absolutely right, Bailey. Like that's so true about them. And that's why like Muay Thai is fun. That's all it is like body resistance training in a sense. And it is really fun. It's super conditioning. Like I don't think it has no merit, but at the end of the day, the reason that most people are doing it is to get abs. And to do that, you really need to just diet and then also just resistance train, not use your body weight, which oftentimes isn't enough resistance to be any kind of stimulus.
2 and 1. Whew. All right. Really want to stretch that out.
My wife said that this guy has the ideal physique, lean, not too swole. I think so too. I think 95% of people would say that this guy is the best physique. Like he has the perfect physique. I totally think that if you show this guy to the average person, female specifically, they'd be like, oh my God, he's got the perfect body. If you showed them like my physique or anybody who's got like a sizable amount of muscle or on steroids, they'd be like, not my thing, most realistically.
The next exercise we're going to get into.
So if you do leg raises only and never crunch movements, you're saying that your lower abdominis would not be more developed than your upper? Correct. It's the same muscle. Your rectus abdominis is the whole muscle is a single muscle. It works as one. It doesn't work as independent muscles because it's not independent. A lot of people think like, I'm going to train the outer head of my bicep or the inner head, and that's, you can't do, all your bicep flexes. All your bicep is under tension. You can commit to some regional hypertrophy. The research is very skim on that. Essentially, if you flex a muscle, you're training the whole muscle no matter what you do. And so you're either training a muscle ineffectively through a partial range of motion, or you're training it effectively through a full range of motion where you're basically accomplishing a full cycle of movement for that muscle or completing that muscle's actual purpose. For the bicep, that's, elbow flexion. For the tricep, that's elbow extension. If I'm able to do a bicep curl and all the way flex my bicep, I'm training my bicep. Whether I do it in or out or whatever the fuck people do, it's still training the bicep. But if I'm just doing this because I want to train the upper head and I'm doing like partial range of motion, I'm still training the bicep the same way I was before, but I'm just doing it less effectively. And it's the same concept. I would say that the only thing that leg raises have to offer is it trains your quadricep, like that upper part of your quadricep, which I really don't see many people hitting in leg movements specifically.
It's going to be crunch, reach throughs. Here we go. We're going to get down to this position like this. Punch through your leg and lift the opposing leg.
This is
up.
like...
So we're working our upper
I get it. He wants to make it fun and engaging, but this kind of shit just pisses me off because it's like adding so much articulation to a movement that doesn't need any.
Every time we crunch, but also that rotation. It's a very specific rotation.
It's a very specific rotation, guys. Very, very specific.
All right, we're halfway there. On beginners, you can go ahead and take a break.
All right, beginners, calling you out again. Make sure you take a break. Don't forget your breaks, okay? Drink water, beginners. You guys are doing this, right?
After this, we're going to start emphasizing on the upper abdominals. That last 10 seconds.
Mario says is the Superman exercise still a thing. It is in the army. This shit all the fucking time. We call it the prone row.
3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, you should definitely be feeling it right now. Even breaking a sweat, just 5 minutes. To be honest, this is a lot more effective than just running on the treadmill or doing anything else. But next time,
He just said this is a lot more effective than running on the treadmill or doing anything else. Are we talking what are we talking about? Calories burned? Because that's not true. Are we talking about? I mean, like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
exercise we're gonna get into is gonna be toe taps. So we're gonna bring our feet up like this. We're gonna try to touch our toes, just like that. If you can't do this,
So this is a good movement. See, this is great. We're picking out the bad versus the good. This is so important to understand. Remember what I just said? How the rectus abdominis is like you're supposed to basically bring the sternum to the pelvis, and that is the like full range of motion or intention of that muscle. And this is a good movement where it's doing nearly all of that.
too difficult, then just reach in the sky, just like that. Or you can put your feet up.
Patrick, I'm glad you're pausing. I'm able to get some breaks in. Yeah, you know, there's too many beginners in here, man.
And keep going just like that. You can also just go halfway. When you can't do the hardest progression anymore, continue on. And then drop your feet down. Continue on as well.
His back is doing, I don't know if you guys can hear it, I'm wearing headphones, but his back is doing that fart thing. I don't know if you ever got like really sweaty on a mat like that before while training abs, but your back starts to fart on the ground. Super embarrassing.
Use all the progressions to try to maintain this movement without stopping.
Beginners, take a rest. I got you.
If you need to slow down, go ahead and do that, but don't
The elite amongst us will hold down the fort while you guys take rests, okay?
stop. Last 10 seconds. Let's go hard. 5, 4,
Oh, she's really stepping it up now.
2, and 1. All right. Again, stretch that out.
How is lifting your ass up and like doing hip flexion, how is that, I don't understand how that's stretching your abs out.
Next exercise we're gonna get into. It's gonna be plank side to side.
Realistically, what's the shot that this guy just YouTubes a couple exercises before he does one and then records a video on it? Because some of the things he's saying between these movements gets me a little suspicious that he might not actually know what the hell he's doing. He's just kind of looking shit up just before he records the video, and he's like, yeah, we'll throw this shit together real quick. Because, I mean, realistically, like, how hard is it to do this and say that, oh, yeah, we're going to do that? Like, talk like a basic trainer, you know what I mean? Like, it can't be that hard. And I don't think he's actually, I don't know, maybe he's a mastermind and I'm just an idiot.
So now we're gonna flip over, switch up the position. This is another good key factor. Okay, so plank position, side and side. That's hitting the abdominals, not only from different angles, using flexion, extension, and rotation, but also from different positions. This is the key to a real effective
Is this
abdominal
really?
workout.
Is this
And
really
of course,
the key?
being able to sustain this every single day and to be able to get through the entire routine. If the routine is way too difficult, you're going to find very little progress because you're just not going to get through the routine.
Dude,
Last 10 seconds left.
like,
Coming up next, you just have one more exercise. We want to finish strong. Here we go. 5, 4.
I want to know, I get it, but you might as well just do a full plank. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to be doing this much, you might as well just do a full plank, like a side plank. You're doing like a third of a plank, and then you're giving yourself like 1 second under resistance, and then you're moving to the other side. I don't know.
3, 2, and 1.
And what's this tattoo on his arm? What is this? He's got an octopus. Who does these people's tattoos? Like, they have so much money and they get tattoos like this. And I'm not just talking because I'm an asshole. I'm talking because I spent tons of money to get nice tattoos. And I'm just like, who's going to a tattoo artist and getting a poorly drawn octopus on their arm? Crazy.
Woo, my abs are on fire. Here's the progress so far. We're going to finish off
No, he didn't. Here's the progress so far. He's like, ah, man, that's great.
With switching mountain climbers. Breathe in, breathe out. This is the last one. I want you to give it everything you got. Let's get into position. One knee up, other knee, switch, switch. Let's keep it going. Remember, it's all about the intensity.
He's been doing this stuff for years. I know, but when we started, I was saying, like, I've watched his videos since I was in high school, before I even got into bodybuilding. Like, he was one of my inspirations to start into fitness, which is crazy that we're reviewing him right now. It's like a time capsule or something.
That's going to determine the difficulty. So, you're advanced, pick it up.
We do these in the Army all the time as well. Like 80% of these workouts are all in the Army.
And if you're more beginner, you go ahead and cruise on through. More than halfway there. Stay strong. If you're beginners, why not just try to go complete 45 for this last exercise? Stay strong. 10 more seconds. Turn it up. Fly.
Turn it up, guys. I'm watching. Don't slow down on me. No beginner breaks yet. We got 4 seconds left.
4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! There you have it. In just 8 minutes, no equipment. Abs are
Oh, dude is diced. It only took 8 minutes to get shredded, bro. How? What? Incredible. The dude is absolutely shredded. Let's just take, I don't even know. I haven't looked at myself for a minute. Let's see how shredded I am. I better just, I don't want to embarrass myself here. Let me take a look. Let's see how shredded I am. Shall we? I'm all right. I'm doing okay. I don't do that. That's for sure. Oh, I've never done that in my life, but I'm doing okay, I think. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm not doing okay. All right, I'm done. I'm being such a douchebag. I'm sorry.
So, years. If there was a better way to do this, I'd be doing it by now, but this has already been tried, tested, and proven by millions around the world.
Millions. Even not me.
Over a decade. So congratulations for completing this routine with me. You're on your way to building a solid and strong physique. Not just looking strong, but actually being strong. Remember, the strength you're acquiring from these routines are going to transfer over into all your other lifts. If this felt difficult to complete, don't worry, because it's going to get easier a lot faster. And
you keep taking the beginner breaks, Kay? I've been training abs this whole time. You guys just haven't seen it. I've been literally doing crunches right here.
Pretty soon you're going to be flying through
this whole time I've been doing it. You guys are lacking. I didn't even need a break. When he was switching exercises, I was already 2 minutes ahead of him.
And then you're going to have a better perspective of how much stronger you really got compared to where you were at before. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Definitely stay consistent with this routine as much as you can, and you're guaranteed to get the six-pack abs you've always dreamed of this year, as well as a brand new physique and way more strength gains. So I'll see you.
Do you believe him? Are we going to get more strength gains? I don't know. I don't know, guys. We might. I mean, resistance training is good for you. I guess if you don't have anything else to do, this is better than nothing.